My name is Cole, and the major purpose of this video is to launch the Defeat Obama Radio Coalition, an internet radio show which is designed with one purpose in mind, and that is the total defeat of Barack Obama, the personal, the political defeat of Barack Obama in 2012.
Halt! Drop the teleprompter and step away from the White House.
Never in our nation's history have we faced three grave threats that we currently face, any one of which that could end our country and the way that we know it today. One, a disintegrating economy. Two, a crushing national debt. And three, a government that spends and borrows and spends and borrows, then spends a little more, borrows more, spends and borrows and spends and borrows. Obamonomics. Taking from those that have earned and giving to those who are not willing to help themselves. Don't you understand that anything you get from the government was first taken from someone else? Would you agree with me that any president who uses an attempt to socialize medicine, rob an entire industry using cap and trade of our energy, and attempts to use a Robin Hood style of economics where you take from the productive and you give to the idle, you give to the non-productive, doesn't deserve, as I feel, to be our president? America, give Tiger a break. Obama's screwing the entire country. As a practical matter, aren't you judged in your career based on your production? I mean, don't we take anybody and it's the performance that matters as far as their career is concerned? Let's take a second and examine the first 1,000 days, the threshold we just recently hit, the first 1,000 days of the Obama presidency. And the first 1,000 days, Obama has racked up an additional $4.3 trillion in debt. The accumulative total of the debt racked up from Washington, our first president, to our first George Bush, Herbert Walker Bush's presidency, all combined. In his first 1,000 days, we now spend as a government over $4 billion a day more than we take in. We've lost over 2 million jobs while adding 140,000 jobs to the American federal payroll.
Shh! Don't tell Obama what comes after $1 trillion.
Wake up, America. A government big enough to give you everything you need is big enough to take everything you had. That's a quote from Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson also said, "I predict happiness for the American people as long as they can prevent the government from wasting the labor of its citizens under the pretense of taking care of them."
A taxpayer voting for Obama is like a chicken voting for the colonel. We, the citizens of the United States, have the power over the courts and the Congress not to overthrow the Constitution, but rather to overthrow those who pervert our Constitution.
Somebody please put the Constitution on Obama's teleprompter. And by the way, don't you think Congress should read their laws before they pass them?
Americans, we still have time to thwart the Obama administration in our next election. Time to stop what Obama has cooked up as an indigestible American economic stew, if you will. A stew that's mixed up with a crazy foreign trade arrangement with $1 billion given to Finnish companies to launch 2 electric car companies. We have time to stop ridiculously high unemployment, entitlement spending, trillions of dollars in foreign debt, 35 million people on food stamps. Honk if Obama's paying your mortgage.
Ben Franklin was quoted as saying that we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but you gotta go run and catch it.
Our founding fathers would already be shooting. Mr. Obama, we don't have to have our most productive citizens continually becoming attacked because they're not paying their fair share. 50% of all Americans don't pay anything.
We are not in trouble because the most productive among us have lived too well. We're in trouble because the current administration simply spends too much.
No longer will we suffer the indignation of being demonized because of our productivity. We're looking for an administration that honors both labor and business. America, keep working. 35 million Americans are on food stamps relying on you. We're being told that it's somehow in our best interest to pay higher taxes. America, we need the courage of conviction. We need the courage to press upon our government to know the difference between what is merely desirable and what is absolutely necessary. I got a Nobel Peace Prize in my cereal box. We don't need any sleight of hand stimulus economics. We just simply need a government that uses the same common sense that we all use in our daily lives, the same prudence that we use each month in balancing our own checkbook.
I'm no longer the worst president in history. I'm no longer the worst president in history.
This is America. We don't redistribute wealth. We earn it.
If drug testing is acceptable for employers, why not for welfare recipients?
Mr. Community Organizer, let me send you a message. Let the internet radio program send you a message that government exists at the suffrage of hard-working American people, the sweat of the American taxpayer, that programs that waste their money are a thief of their purse, need to have their excess waste eliminated, or the programs need to be wiped out altogether. Your fiduciary responsibility is that of protecting the American people. That's the purpose of government, rather than we work to serve the government. The government works to serve the needs of its citizens. People in America say if you don't agree with our president, President Obama, you must be a racist. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm no racist. I don't like Biden, Pelosi, or Reid either.
Americans, this isn't a Democrat or Republican thing. Wasn't it a famous Democratic president that said, "The buck stops here"? Doesn't that sound better than blaming previous administrations? Wasn't it another famous Democratic president that said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself"? Isn't that better than scaring our seniors by saying we may not be able to send Social Security checks? And how about ask not what your country can do for you, but rather what you can do for your country?
I need your help. What do you believe in? I'm willing to dedicate the next year of my life, obviously, to something I believe very strongly in. But I can't do it without you. Take a look at the pledge levels. And when you look at those, you're going to see that really anything is going to be helpful to us. For a couple of bucks, you can get a bumper sticker or a nice thank you from the organization. Join the movement, put a shoulder to the wheel. For a few more dollars, you can have a personal call from me and we can talk about your views on the subject, pro or con. But understand those calls are going to be recorded and your voice could end up on Defeat Obama Radio. You could be a guest of our show. You could even be one of the 56 people that are chosen to be an inner circle member of Defeat Obama's internet radio program. If you're more serious about the cause, you could actually be a producer of our program, and every program will list you as a contributor and a producer of Defeat Obama Radio.
Americans, let's work together to give a permanent farewell to Barack Hussein Obama.